July, August, and September had consecutive months winning more than they lost. Their best August goes back to 1989 when they were 20-9, and that's the year that they won the division, faced the Oakland Athletics, and the A's won that playoff and went on to beat the Giants in 4 straight here in what was then, of course, referred to, and rightfully so, as the Earthquake Series. So August right now pretty kind to the Blue Jays, and they're 1 win away from matching their total wins in August of a year ago.
They've been more steady with the bats. They are steadily getting good pitching. It is, and we say it quite a bit, but it's shaping up to be a ball club that looks like a major league team that has a chance.
Omar Malavey. And in third base, number 55, Ryan Butterfield.
Leading off for the Blue Jays and playing left field, number 45, Travis Snyder.
And that concludes our broadcast. We'll have the totals right after this.
That's pretty strong.
Just have to sit back here and be a co-pilot with that public address announcer. Well, here's Travis Snyder. Started the game yesterday. First pitch single to left. We'll see what he does here a night later. First pitch swinging, drills one right to center. Coco Crisp, without moving, makes the catch.
First pitch,
And it's 65 degrees.
Well, Travis shows a lot of aggressiveness there, and borrowing a page from Vernon Wells.
Junel Escobar.
I think there also may be some logic. Left-handers last night, tonight, and tomorrow against the Blue Jays. And I think batting against a left-hander, Travis probably is trying to make something happen early with a quick fastball.
Travis came up hitting .242. Here's Junel Escobar. He takes a first pitch fastball strike. Junel hitting .308 as a Blue Jay in 25 games and started his Blue Jays career with a 10-game hitting streak. He takes inside 1-1. Landon Powell is catching the left-hander Braden, who likes to work quickly. Fastball foul back to the screen, 1-2. The A's are in their home whites. Feature Steve Tollison at third, Cliff Pennington at short, Mark Ellis at second, Derek Barton at first, Connor Jackson at left, Coco Crisp in center, Rajay Davis in right. 1-2 pitch outside. DHing hitting fourth, Jack Cust. That will be against the right-hander Brandon Morrow. Junel punches one foul over the screen right-hand side, and count holds 2-2. Braden's last start was up in Seattle at pretty safe Field. He went the distance, allowed 1 run on 4 hits, beat the Mariners 5-1. Escobar takes it high, 3-2. In fact, right now, Dallas Braden 3-1 with an ERA under 3 in 5 starts since reinstated from the disabled list. He had some elbow tightness. Put him on there. He's high, ball 4. Escobar draws a 1-out walk into the game.
Yeah, that tells a little bit of a tale, that pitch on Dallas Braden. 3-2. He comes right there in the first inning with a changeup. That's a key pitch for him.
Jose Bautista hitting .258. Yesterday a home run. Came in the 4th inning. And when the umpires sorted it out after the game, they told Major League Baseball it was a home run, not an inside-the-park home run. So 37 it is to lead the majors. Jose's driven in 89. From the stretch, the lefty's in with a fastball strike. Bautista, a big part of a 3-1 win. Markham, his first complete game in 87 starts. There's a throw to first. It slips by Derek Barton and rolls right down the right field line to the bullpen. Around second, Escobar. Junel heading for third. The throw cut at the mound. And on a 2-base throwing error by pitcher Dallas Braden, the Blue Jays have a runner at third.
Dallas Braden will pick you off. He's got a great quick snap throw move to first base, and he can even pick off a first baseman. But this throw, trying to get too much into the base runner.
Escobar dove back to the bag, and that throw might have even hit him on the right elbow. And sure enough, when he popped up from his slide, that's the first thing he did was grab his right elbow, flexing it now as he leads down from third. Bautista fouls one off to the right. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
That is an RBI down at third base, a run down at third base that Jose Bautista does not want to let get away here in the first inning.
Jose with 3 sacrifice flies, infield back. strike two pitch. Chopped on the ground to short. This will produce the run. Escobar scores. The throw to first on a bounce. Taken by Barton for the second out. But the Blue Jays are in flight, leading Oakland 1-0 here in the first on Bautista's 90th RBI.
Very good job by Jose. Don't let that close pitch slip by. Go ahead and put it in play and get that run.
Here is Vernon Wells hitting .270. Vernon's driven in an even 60. Yesterday, 1 for 4. After the Bautista home run in the fourth, Edwin Encarnacion drilled a 2-run home run deep to left center in the fifth. That was the margin of victory. Pitches outside. So here, a 1-out walk, and then Braden throws it away at first base, a 2-base throwing area, setting up the ground out in the RBI. Vernon pops it up right side. Braden sprints over with the catcher, and the catcher comes over, and nice catch by Landon Powell right up against the camera. Banged into it, kept the ball in his mitt, and right next to him, sprinting off the mound, was Dallas Braden. The inning is over. The Blue Jays will take an unearned run, compliments of Braden's missed cue at first. And with that, Brandon Morrow has a 1-0 lead going to the bottom of the first here in Oakland. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Fan Radio Network. Our game here tonight brought to you by Rogers, a proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Bottom of the first inning, the Blue Jays up 1-0. Brandon Morrow to face Coco Crisp, Derek Barton, and Connor Jackson.
Coming at first base, 38, Todd Stevenson.
At third base,
number 12,
Mike Gallego. Leading off with the Athletics. Center fielder, number 4, Coco Crisp.
For the gray-clad Blue Jays, Brandon Morrow will form a battery once again with Jose Molina. They've been outstanding together. And yesterday, Jose, with 4 base hits to tie a career high, and threw out a runner at second base. He is 12 of 24 throwing runners out. That leads the American League percentage-wise right there at 50%. And he will catch Morrow here tonight. J. Pierre Ancibia, the rookie, will catch tomorrow. Edwin Encarnacion at third, Junel Escobar at short, Aaron Hill at second, Lyle Overbay at first. That's your inner defense. As Morrow into his windup for his first pitch of the night, he's in low, ball 1. Travis Snyder in left. Vernon Wells in center and Jose Bautista in right. The DH is Adam Lind. He's going to lead off the second inning. Crisp yesterday, 1 for 4. It's a high fly ball to left center field, pretty deep. Long run for Vernon, long run for Snyder, and Travis can't make the catch. The ball's up off the wall, base hit. Wells takes the carom, backing up nicely to hold Crisp to a leadoff double.
Just a from behind count fastball left up out over the plate, and at least to this point we're not seeing the big fastball numbers from Brandon Morrow, 91 and 92.
Well, Brandon, 2 pitches into the game, will work from the stretch. Crisp with his 9th double. Coco came up hitting .266. Now the batter is left-handed hitting Derek Barton. Well, the Blue Jays 1-0 lead in jeopardy here in this Oakland first inning. Morrow's last start was Sunday, August the 8th, back in Toronto at the Rogers Center. That was 9 days ago. He got a couple of days off. He's in low. That was because of his gem. He won 1-0. Had a no-hitter with 2 on and 2 outs in the 9th inning when Evan Longoria's ground ball to the right side just off the glove of a diving Aaron Hill. Dan Johnson then would strike out, leaving the 2 men on Morrow's 137th pitch. There's a line drive up the gap in the left center. That's a base hit. Snyder picks it up on the track. Crisp around third. He's heading home. There's no relay. And on that double by Barton, the A's have tied it 1-1.
Well, they've hit 2 balls well, and they've split the gap in left center field almost perfectly with these 2.
Batting third. Left fielder. Number 28. Connor Jackson.
So already in this start, Morrow's given up more hits than he did in his last start. That gem of a game we said back on Sunday, August the 8th. 137 pitches, so he needed to miss a few days. Not a complete start in the rotation, but matched up here against the A's, and here's Connor Jackson. Slider in there for a strike to the right-handed hitter. Jackson had the only Oakland hit yesterday, a home run, the left center leading off the 7th inning off Sean Markham, who one hit the A's and won it 3-1. The Blue Jays 3-1 on this road trip. Jackson tops the ground ball foul up along third. It's 0-2. Morrow had a very good start at home April 30th against these A's. Went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 7 hits with 9 strikeouts. Kind of a precursor of what was to come with the 17 in his last start. Morrow won that game 10-2. He's back 0-2. Fastball hit late and foul down the right side. That is Morrow's only start against Oakland this year. And as he rubs up a new baseball on the mound, he can look back at a fine career against Oakland. He's 3-0 in 18 appearances, 4 starts, and an ERA of 3.96. Barton the lead at second. Nobody out first inning here in Oakland. Strike 2 pitch. Fastball, strike 3 called, and Jackson knew it.
Spotting it very well on the inside corner is Brandon Morrow.
Batting in the 4th position, designated hitter, number 32, Jack Huss.
Well, Morrow is no stranger to strikeouts. That's his 152nd. He comes in 5th in the league in strikeouts. And he's averaging 10.67 strikeouts per 9 innings. That leads the American League. Young Jared Weaver of the Angels second at 10.05 strikeouts per 9 innings. Batter, left-hand hitting Jack Cust. Batter in DH. He takes outside ball 1. Mike Gallego coaching at third. Todd Steverson at first for manager Bob Guerin's A's. Oakland and the home whites, the Blue Jays and the road Grays. Morrow's inside. The pitch hits the foot of umpire Bob Davis, and the ball ricochets to the on-deck circle to the left. Around third with maybe a notion of trying to score was Barton, but he'll stay at third on a wild pitch.
Jose Molina couldn't find this one initially as it kicked off the right leg, the shin guard of the home plate umpire. And as Jose stood at home plate, time was slipping by, and I'm not so sure that Barton might not have had a shot to come on toward home plate.
As Brandon's 6th wild pitch, that's second on the staff to Ricky Romero's 15. The A's and Blue Jays are tied at 1. We're in the bottom of the 1st inning. The infield drawn in now with a runner at third and 1 out. And the 2-0 pitch to Cust, inside ball 3. Jack is a .278 hitter. He's hit 8 home runs. He has struck out 79 times. And for him in his career, it's been basically feast or famine. Home runs or strikeouts. The 3-0 pitch is low, ball 4, and he's also drawn his share of walks. And that's going to bring up Mark Ellis.
Yeah, I think along with the home runs, it's been the walks that have been the key features keeping him in this major league game as much as possible.
Mark Ellis.
One interesting aspect of the Oakland A's, and we can put it in stark contrast to the Blue Jays. The A's this year have hit 71 home runs. The Blue Jays have hit more home runs on the road than the A's have hit home runs. The Blue Jays have hit 80 home runs on the road. There's a slider in for the strike. That is part and parcel of the Blue Jays leading the major leagues with 183 total home runs. This is a club here in Oakland that does not score often, and they certainly don't do it a lot with a home run. The strike 1 pitch to Ellis. Popped up foul. That's coming back to the crowd. Molina gives a look, but it's back in the seats. 0-2. Cuss last year led the A's in home runs. He's at first base. He also led them in walks. Now here's Ellis, a reliable veteran second baseman. Deep in the hole, 0-2. The strike 2 pitch, a slider, and it gets away from Molina through his legs. Coming in to score from third base with a go-ahead run is Derek Barton. Up to second goes Jack Cuss, and Oakland leads it 2-1.
It's just another case of Jose not getting both knees down. He did get one knee down, but the glove came up. He pulled it up as if he wanted to pick this ball out of the dirt rather than block it, and it just doesn't work that way.
So the A's have more than made up for the unearned run. They allowed the Blue Jays in the top of this first inning. They've scored 2 now to take the lead in the bottom half. The pitch bounced to the plate, a slider. Good job by Molina to keep that ball up along third, about 10 feet to his left. A couple of wild pitches here in the inning. And the runner leads at second with 1 out. 2-2 offering Dallas. Hit into shallow center field. Coming on Vernon. Makes the catch. 2 down as Cuss goes back to second.
This fly ball wasn't all that deep in center, but likely deep enough with Vernon's current arm to be able to score the run from third.
Batting in the 6th position. Right fielder. Number 11. Rajay Davis.
Here is speedster Rajay Davis. Played center field last night. Went 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a pop-up. Tonight is in right field. Coco Crisp in center. He was a DH last night. Slider outside, ball 1. The A's trying to stop a 4-game losing streak. They're 57-60. And the Blue Jays 3-1 on the road trip. For the year, 32-31 away from the Rogers Center. 1-0 pitch. Slammed to left field, but that's hooking foul. And under the mezzanine it goes. 1-1. Had the pleasure of meeting John Morrow before the game tonight. That's Brandon's father. He came in from nearby Rohnert Park. That's over the Golden Gate Bridge up north past Marin County into Sonoma County. And John is the head baseball coach at Rancho Cotati High School there in Rohnert Park. So here to see his son pitch. A father-son night, if you will. The 1-1 offering. Fastball inside, 2-1.
Too bad they couldn't get seats together on father-son night.
Good man to keep off the bases is Rajay Davis. 36 stolen bases, been caught only 7 times. He did not reach yesterday. Great job by Markham. Slider strike on the inside corner, 2-2. So Morrow here with a 21-pitch first inning has given up back-to-back doubles to Crisp and Barton that quickly tied the game at 1. And then a couple of wild pitches later, Oakland has taken the lead 2-1. Now Davis looking for a 2-out hit. Morrow's pitch, slider hit on the ground to third. Tricky hop taken by Encarnacion. The throw to first is there, and the inning is over. But the A's get a couple on 2 hits, couple of wild pitches. Deuce is running wild in this one. And at the end of 1, it's Oakland 2, the Blue Jays 1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Fan Radio Network.
Designated hitter, number 26, Adam Lynn.
Top of the second inning, the A's have a 2-1 lead for left-hander Dallas Braden. Here is left-handed hitting DH Adam Lind. Catcher Landon Powell for a strike. Adams had a lot of success against Dallas Braden. 4 for 7, including a home run, hitting .571. Takes inside, 1-1. On deck, Aaron Hill. He's enjoyed a 4 for 9 career against Braden, so 2 of the best hitters going back-to-back here against the lefty. Pitch driven deep to right field. Back for Rajay Davis at the track. Back pedals. Makes the catch with his back up against the fence.
Batting sixth. Second baseman. Number 2, Aaron Hill.
Adam really unloaded on this pitch, down and in. Just a tough ballpark once you get to this time of the afternoon, evening. It doesn't carry.
And Alan, didn't that swing reflect someone hitting .571 against that pitcher on the mound? Hill fouls one to the screen.
Yeah, and a hitter that has really been swinging it well of late now. That of late is starting to extend itself, and that's a good sign.
For Adam, hitting .311 in the 28 games since the All-Star break. Fastball for a strike, 0-2. In fact, Adam, since the break, not only with the average, 14 extra base hits, including 7 doubles, 2 triples, and 5 home runs. Last 12 games, Lind hitting .409. Aaron takes up and in, 1-2. The Blue Jays are 4-1 this year against Oakland. 3-1 at the Rogers Center, and the win here last night. Aaron takes just low and inside. Close pitch, 2-2.
Well, that's way too good a pitch to be taking in that situation. I'll go so far as to say that's a strike.
Landon Powell, a catcher, sets the target. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Strike 3, 2 down.
Batting in the 7th position. First baseman. Number 35. Lyle Overbay.
That's just a floater changeup that Braden throws up there.
A's 2, Blue Jays 1. We're in the second inning. 2 outs. Lyle Overbay up. Lyle yesterday scored on the Encarnacion home run. Lyle takes a strike. See, along with this season comes patio season. Alice Fazzuli's Courtyard Patio up and running. So stop on by anytime. The Great Italian Grill at 294 Adelaide Street West. Overbay loops one foul past third base coach Brian Butterfield. It's 0-2. They've got some great food, great service for you. Terrific patio and bar deals. The Stella Pints are $4 Wednesdays and Thursdays. Take advantage tomorrow and the next day. Heineken Pints $4.50 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All at Alice Fazzuli's Italian Grill. Braden is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blue Jays last year were 6-3 against the A's, 2-1 in Toronto, 4-2 on the road. So the Blue Jays have had their way with the A's the last couple of years and trying to win here again tonight. 1-2 pitch inside. And congratulations, Alex Anthopoulos yesterday with about a minute to spare. Signed first overall pick and 11th overall Deck McGuire from Georgia Tech. He was a first-round Blue Jays pick. Bryce Harper went down to the last 30 seconds with agent Scott Boras. He signed with the Washington Nationals. But the Blue Jays proud of their 6'6" right-hander out of Georgia Tech, the Ramblin' Wreck, Deck McGuire. Be fun to see his career progress from here on out. Pitches inside.
Anybody with a name Deck McGuire has to make it big in the big leagues, don't they?
You hope he doesn't give up some home runs at a short porch.
Not the lower deck.
Here's the 3-2 pitch to Lyle. Ripped on the ground right to second. Mark Ellis has it. The toss to first. Call it a 1-2-3 second. We go to the bottom of the second. A's 2, Blue Jays 1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Fan Radio Network. Our broadcast tonight is brought to you in part by Home Hardware and Building Center Locations. Homeowners helping homeowners. Bottom of the second here in Oakland. The A's have a 2-1 lead over the Blue Jays. First inning, the Blue Jays an unearned run. Dallas Braden with 1 out walk. Junel Escobar tried to pick him off, threw it down the right field line. Escobar went to third, and home on Jose Bautista's ground out to short. But in the bottom of the first inning, the A's scored 2.
Seventh position. The catcher. Number 35. Landon Powell.
Landon Morrow, fresh off that one hitter and 1-0 victory over Tampa Bay back on the 8th of August. Gave up doubles to Coco Crisp and Derek Barton, the first 2 hitters. And he was in a tie ball game as a result. A strikeout later and a walk, a wild pitch brought home the go-ahead run. And with that, it's 2-1 Oakland here as the 7, 8, 9 hitters come up. Here's switch-hitting catcher Landon Powell. Up here batting left-handed. He takes low and inside, ball 1. Powell hitting .228, backing up regular catcher Kurt Suzuki. Morrow in with a strike, 1-1. And the right-hander's pitch. Nice off-speed pitch there on the outside edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Change up from Brandon. Steve Tollefson is on deck, and then Cliff Pennington. A's will come up the steps from their third base dugout to the on deck circle. 1-2 offering. Fastball, strike 3 called at the knees. 1 down. Morrow's second strikeout tonight.
Batting in the 8th position. Third baseman. Number 30. Steve Tollefson.
Steve Tollefson comes up. Oakland with a 2-1 lead. Tollefson, just recalled from the A's AAA club in nearby Sacramento, the state capital here in California. Second time up with the A's. It's a ground ball foul past third base coach Mike Gallego. The ball squirts down the left field line. Strike 1. Tollefson started the year with the Twins in spring training, claimed off waivers from Minnesota on the 1st of February. Originally drafted by the Twins back in 2005. Right-hander against right-hander. Morrow's pitch fouled off to the right-hand side. No balls and 2 strikes. On the home hardware out-of-town scoreboard, the Yankees beat Detroit 6-2 at Yankee Stadium. Curtis Granderson, the ex-Tiger, hit a home run to help the Yankees' cause. And CC Sabathia, who with the win is 16-5. Beat a good one in Justin Verlander, who falls to 13-8. Fastball punched to right field. In going back a bit, Bautista. Jose, who has shaved the beard, looks quite different than he's looked this season. Makes the catch. You wonder with the season he's had why he would change. Most ball players would be superstitious enough to keep that beard.
Cliff Pennington.
Maybe he's disappointed at the slow rate at which he's hitting home runs right now.
Well, he's hit them better than anybody else. So 37 to lead the major leagues. And with Sabathia's win, he leads the American League in wins with 16. The A's 2, the Blue Jays 1. Cliff Pennington, the left-handed hitting shortstop, takes strike 1 called here in the second inning. Tampa Bay with a 10-1 lead over Texas in the 8th inning at Tropicana Field, so they look good to keep pace with the Yankees and remain tied in the American League East. There's a foul off to the left, 0-2. The Red Sox won their game at Fenway Park. Boston shut out the Angels 6-0. Clay Buchholz went the first 7. Angels had just 7 hits. A foul off at home plate. Buchholz 14-5 with a win, beat Jared Weaver, who falls to 11-8. Baltimore at home shut out by Seattle 4-0. Luke French, with help from Brandon Ligg, who saved his 3rd game, beat Kevin Millwood. Fastball lined up the middle, base hit into center field. A 2-out hit for Pennington. And now beware Brandon Morrow. Pennington can fly. 18 of 22 stealing bases.
These Oakland A's have been a running machine here since the All-Star break.
We'll see if Morrow throws over at least once. The running game controlled by the bench and bench coach Nick Leyva. Jose Molina looking over his right shoulder into the first base dugout, so he gets his marching orders. Here's Crisp. The stretch by Morrow. A bluff toward second, no action. Crisp shows bunt, takes outside, ball 1. The Twins are at home. They lead the White Sox 5-4 through 7 innings. That's a big game. The Twins coming in with the Central Division lead, 3 games on the White Sox. That's the start of a critical series. Morrow's pitch outside, 2-0. The 5-4 Minnesota. White Sox batting at Target Field in the top of the 8th. If memory serves, over the first 12 meetings, the Twins have won 8 of those 12 meetings. Morrow ready. There goes Pennington. He stops. Crisp shows bunt, takes a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Elsewhere on that home hardware out-of-town scoreboard, Kansas City's at home, leading Cleveland 2-1 in the 7th inning. Right here, 2nd inning, Oakland 2, the Blue Jays 1. The 2-out single put Pennington on. Crisp up here doubled the left center off the fence and scored right after that on Derek Barton's double. Fastball strike, well placed outside edge. It's 2-2. In that Boston 6-0 win at home over the Angels, the rookie left-handed hitting outfielder Ryan Kalish a grand slam. Daniel Nava, the rookie for Boston, you remember, hit a grand slam on the first pitch he saw in the major leagues, that also at Fenway Park. Pretty good couple of kids right there. Fastball outside, 3-2. In the National League, Philadelphia at home beat the Giants 9-3. Atlanta at home beat Washington 10-2. That's a big win for Atlanta. They keep Philadelphia 2.5 back. In the wild card race, the Giants and Phillies were tied at a game apiece, so big win for Philadelphia that way. Pennington goes, 3-2 pitch outside, ball 4. Morrow with his second walk.
Now batting, first baseman, number 10, Derek Barton.
Here is Derek Barton, left-handed hitter, first baseman. He doubled the left center to drive home the Crisp double. That started the game for Oakland. Quickly made it 1-1. And then later a Morrow wow pitch, 2 of them, allowed Barton to go to third and then score the go-ahead run. And the A's have that 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 2nd. Elsewhere on that home hardware out-of-town scoreboard, the Florida Marlins beat Pittsburgh 6-0 in Pittsburgh at PNC Park. And Houston at home beat the Mets 4-3. The Mets are in total disarray now. A strike call to the left-hand hitting Barton. Through 5, San Diego's at Wrigley Field in one of those rare night games and leading the Cubs 1-0. Milwaukee 3, Cardinals 1. That's through 5 in St. Louis. The Cardinals, a game behind Cincinnati. The runners go. The pitch outside, dropped by Molina as he went to throw to third, and the A's have just pulled off a double steal. Jose having a tough night behind the plate.
That's really intriguing that the A's would choose to run right there, a double steal with Jose Molina at the plate and a left-handed hitter, a wide open lane to throw into. And this kind of a situation with 2 outs, and yet, as we just mentioned, these A's have been running as a team just a load here now in the last month and a half.
And Jose, throwing out Pennington last night, has thrown out 12 of 24, leading the American League with a 50% success rate. Makes it even further surprising. But Jose has had a couple of pitches get by him, and here dropped a pitch. And as we said, a tough start for him. The San Diego Padres leading the Giants by 4 games now in the National League West. As we said, they have the 1-0 lead in Wrigley against the Cubs. 1-1 pitch, golfed into the air, into shallow left field. Coming on Travis Snyder. He calls off the shortstop Escobar. Travis makes the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, a walk, a double steal, and runners left at 2nd and 3rd. At the end of 2, with Allen up for the 3rd and 4th here out in Oakland, it's the A's 2, the Blue Jays 1, as you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Fan Radio Network.
It's a 2-1 Oakland lead. We go to the 3rd inning for the Blue Jays. Edwin Encarnacion, the 8-hitter, will lead it off. Dallas Braden brings a breaking ball that's low. 1 ball and no strikes. Encarnacion hitting .244 on his season. Hammered a big home run in last night's game. Edwin takes outside. A run on no hits for the Blue Jays. That courtesy of a two-base throwing error on a pickoff attempt by Dallas Braden back in that first inning. Left-hander brings it low. 3-0 the count. That with Junel Escobar at first base following a one-out walk. And then Bautista plated him as he grounded out to shortstop. Edwin takes a strike. 2 runs, 3 hits, an error for the Oakland A's. Encarnacion hammers one on a line through the left side. That's a base hit. So Edwin gets it started for the Jays here in the third inning. That'll bring up Jose Molina.
Running back, the catcher, number 8, Jose Molina.
Molina matched a career best last night with 4 base hits. Funny how this game goes. That came right on the heels of 19 straight at bats without a hit. And that pushes the batting average back up to 270 for Jose. First offering taken for a strike. Molina now 35 years of age, and he's getting the large portion of the work behind the plate for the Blue Jays. John Buck on a minor league rehab assignment had a big day today. Fastball taken inside. Couple of home runs for John. 6 RBIs on the game, so I guess he's ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Little cutter just missing inside. Molina with 4 home runs on the year. He's driven in 9. Started last night's game with his batting average at 246, so nice jump for Jose. He pops one up on the right side. Second baseman Ellis calling off his first baseman on the outfield grass. Ellis will make the catch. That's 1 out here in the third inning.
Number 45, Travis Snider.
Back to the top with Travis Snider. Travis has been occupying that leadoff spot now here of late. Fred Lewis starting to have a tough time finding some playing time. A lot of talent on the ball club, and it's tough to get it all in there on any given night. Big swing and a foul tip into the catcher's mitt by Snider. 0-1 the count. He was first pitch swinging in the first inning as he flied to center field. Hey fans, we've got the Dave Steve bobblehead day coming up. That's August 29th with the Tigers in town. A 1:07 game time. Go over to first base, that snap throw, and again Dallas Braden has a very deceptive quick snap throw to first base. He doesn't have what you'd call a classic move. That left foot quickly comes off the rubber and he fires over, and this was close on Encarnacion. When Escobar had the throw come over, the 2-base error in the first inning, he might have been out and likely would have been with a good throw. It's now 0-2 on Travis as he fouls it back. Braden to the plate, breaking ball got him swinging. Pulling the string, taking quite a bit off on that breaking ball, and Snider down on strikes. That's 2 on the night now for Braden. Could have even been the changeup that Braden just floats up there.
Now batting, number 5, Junel Escobar.
Escobar with that walk, and then moved first to third on the throwing error by Braden in the first inning, scoring on the Bautista ground ball. Braden to the plate, misses off speed, down and away. Again on the Dave Steve bobblehead. That's August 29th with the Tigers in town. First 10,000 fans will receive a Dave Steve bobblehead presented by FedEx in celebration of the 20th anniversary of Steve's no-hitter. Fastball is up and away. Call 416-341-1234 or online at BlueJays.com. Come join us at the Rogers Center. A leadoff single by Encarnacion. He's still at first base with 2 outs as Escobar takes a strike. 2-1 the count. Escobar doing a great job for the ball club, both with the bat and the glove. He's hitting .308. Takes outside again. 3-1 the count. On the season, .258 is the batting average. That combines the numbers with the Blue Jays and the Atlanta Braves. Braden set and brings the 3-1. That misses low. So a 2-out walk, second walk issued by Braden, both to Escobar, and puts runners at first and second for Jose Bautista.
Now batting, number 19, Jose Bautista.
With that ground out to short in the first inning, the RBI for Bautista, his 90th on the year. Bautista hitting home run number 37 last night. That was a very eventful home run. Initially, it was ruled inside the park. Eventually, they got it right as the ball hit off the foul pole. He lines one, hooking foul down the left field side. Off speed pitch. He stayed back well, hanging out the line drive. For Bautista, the batting average at .258. We mentioned before the first pitch that Dallas Braden had quite a tough time following the perfect game, but he's pitched very well of late, winning 3 of his last 4 starts. Throws a fastball right on by the bat of Bautista. It's 0-2. Bautista was 1 for 3, scoring a run on that home run last night. Struck out a couple of times. He takes down and away. Missed hitting a home run in that Angels series as he broke the long streak. He has really been something with those home runs, just steadily pouring them out. Here's the 1-2 off speed, swung on and fouled right off the end of the bat, just dribbling on the first base side. Very good looking changeup from Dallas Braden. He is not overpowering by any stretch of the imagination. 7-8 on the year, 3.56 the ERA. Complete game victory against Seattle his last time out. He brings the change low. 2-2 the count. Allowed just 4 hits over those 9 innings and winning 5-1. He's allowed 13 home runs on the season in now over 130 innings, so right about on that 1 every 10 innings pace. Very good. Left-hander comes set, checks his runner at second, and the pitch change got him swinging. Bautista couldn't hold back long enough this time, and he's down on strikes. 3 on the night for Braden. That'll do it for the Blue Jays in the 3rd inning. No runs, a hit, and a walk. They leave a pair. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. A's lead it 2-1. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Fan Radio Network. Our game brought to you by Rogers. Speak to a person, not a machine. Introducing Live Agent for small business, only from Rogers. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. For the Oakland A's against Brandon Morrow, it'll be 3-4-5. Connor Jackson to lead it off, followed by Jack Cust and Mark Ellis.
Leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Athletics. Left fielder, number 28. Connor Jackson.
Jackson struck out looking. That back in the 1st inning. 2 strikeouts on the night for Brandon. And each one catching the hitter looking. The other Landon Powell as he led off the 2nd. Jackson, just before yesterday's game, came off the DL after spending 6 weeks on it with a hamstring injury. A couple of home runs on the year, homered in last night's game and had the only hit against Sean Markham as he takes a strike here to start things in the 3rd. Morrow has not had the big numbers on the fastball here this evening. He brings a slider down and away. Jackson acquired earlier in the season from the Arizona Diamondbacks. In fact, the Blue Jays saw Jackson in a Diamondbacks uniform earlier in the year. Fastball is down and away. It actually may be the changeup from Brandon Morrow. Comes out of his hand just like his fastball. Here's the 2-1 slider that misses. So 3 balls and a strike. Jackson leading off here in the 3rd inning. A run on 1 hit for the Blue Jays. That was an unearned run against Dallas Braden. 2 runs on 3 hits and error for the Oakland A's. 3-1 pitch. Fastball, that's taken for a strike. Jackson shakes his head, but looked like a perfect pitch from Morrow. Morrow, a big deep breath, and brings the 3-2. Fastball, check swing. Did he go through? The pitch was outside. No, he did not go through. First base umpire Alfonso Marquez with palms down. So a leadoff walk. That's 3 walks now issued by Morrow.
Number 32.
Connor Jackson, a big guy, runs pretty well. He's stolen 5 bases in 6 tries on the year, but just coming off that hamstring injury, maybe unlikely that he runs. These A's do love to run. Cleanup man Jack Cust stands in. He drew a walk in the 1st. Strong left-hand hitter. Takes outside.
And you wonder what manager Bob Guerin has to do to manufacture runs when 7 hits in 3 games coming into this one. You're almost at your wit's end, and you hit only 71 home runs the whole time of this season.
It has been a tough go, and this ballpark doesn't make it any easier. Here's the 1-0 fastball, catches the outside corner. It's 1-1. With the double steal here on the night against Morrow and Jose Molina, Pennington and Crisp picking up the stolen bases. 102 bags on the year picked up by the Oakland A's, and they've been caught just 26 times, so a tremendous percentage. There goes the runner from first. The pitch is outside. The throw, a good one, but not in time. So Connor Jackson, despite coming off that hamstring injury, able to pick up the stolen base, and number 103 on the year for these running Oakland A's. That's just the 2nd for Jackson now as a member of the Oakland A's. But he got down there nicely, and that was a very good throw from Molina, who's now out to the mound for one of the numerous times on the evening already chatting with his right-hander.
There's a difference, Alan, in a good slide step as opposed to a little higher leg kick by Morrow to the plate.
So now the A's have a runner in scoring position. Nobody out here in the 3rd. Morrow brings the pitch, hit in the air to center field. Vernon coming on. He's there and makes the catch. Tagging and going nowhere is Jackson. Out number 1 brings up Mark Ellis.
Now batting, second baseman, number 14, Mark Ellis.
Veteran second baseman Ellis flied to center field in the 1st inning.
I don't know about you, but you talk about the balls don't carry at night. You can almost feel the cool, moist air coming into the Coliseum as we speak.
Almost pushes us back here in the booth. Morrow to the plate, misses inside. Okay, only Jerry, but a foot or so.
But definitely a sensation of moist air filling this ballpark.
Yes, it is. Morrow set at the waist, brings the 1-0. Fastball was low but bunted at and fouled back to the screen by Ellis. And sprinting down the line was Mark Ellis. So these A's apparently realize they just don't have what it takes with the bat swinging it all the time. And they manufacture with the running game, try to lay down the bunts. Ellis on the season hitting .260. Not a kid anymore. He's 33 years of age. Don't find many players from South Dakota, and yet that's the birthplace, Rapid City, South Dakota, for Mark Ellis, who hits it in the air to left field. Shallow coming on as Travis Snyder sprinting now and makes the catch as veering off is Escobar. Travis Snyder would not be the guy you want to run into. Of course, that said, Escobar's a pretty good sized fella himself.
Now batting, right fielder, number 11.
Two down in Jackson at second base. It brings up right fielder Rajay Davis. Davis grounded out to Encarnacion in the first inning. Right-hand hitter pops it up. Near second base, Aaron Hill with the call. He'll fend off Escobar and make the catch, and that'll do it for the A's in the third inning. No runs, a walk, and a stolen base. They leave a man at second through 3. A's lead over the Jays 2-1. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball right here on the Fan Radio Network. Fourth inning, A's lead over the Jays 2-1. Vernon Wells leads it off. He'll be followed by Adam Lind and Aaron Hill. Our broadcast is brought to you in part by Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners. Dallas Braden, the left-hander. First pitch of the inning. Off speed, hit high in the air down the left field side. Going out the shortstop in fair territory, calling off his left fielder. And Pennington, the shortstop, makes the catch. One pitch, one out.
Number 26, Adam Lind.
Oftentimes, Alan, you can judge someone's speed when they're stealing a base or hitting and putting the ball in play. You can judge Cliff Pennington's speed defensively on how he gets the balls like that in left field.
He is quick, no question about it. Lind stands in and takes down and in. Adam got a hold of one pretty well as he flied to the wall in right field in the second inning. The dimensions are not huge here in Oakland, and yet it plays like a huge ballpark as the strike is delivered outside corner.
And he's an ideal shortstop for this ballpark just because of that quick motion, good footwork.
Braden, off-speed pitch is low. Lind started the bat. They appeal down to third, and no is the call. So 2 balls and a strike on Adam. Hitting .238 on the year. And swinging a great bat for the club. The 2-1 pitch, fastball taken for a strike, and that might have been one to jump on. 87 miles an hour, almost belt high out over the plate, and yet Lind watches it, sees the count go to 2-2. A changeup left up and in, and Lind gets jammed as he grounds foul. Lind settles back into the box. Braden likes to work quickly, very much like Anderson last night, who had a great pace on the game. The 2-2 pitch popped up on the right side. Second baseman, first baseman converging. It's Ellis, the second baseman, winning out, and he'll make the catch. That's 2 down here in the fourth.
Number two, Aaron Hill.
Brings up Aaron Hill, strikeout victim in the second inning. 1 of 3 on the night for Braden. Hill just waving on a changeup that was floating, still in flight at the time of the swing. First pitch swinging, catches a curveball and fouls it down the right field side. Hill hitting just .215. Still trying to find a steady groove. 18 home runs on the year, so that figure's not bad at all. He watches one sails high. A ball and a strike. Braden, ever ready to work, gets his sign in the 1-1 pitch. Fastball sails high. Real quickly on the Home Hardware out-of-town scoreboard, we'll get a start from the National League. The Florida Marlins win it at Pittsburgh, 6-0 the final. With the victory, Marlins a couple of games still under 500. Here's a change and a swing and a miss. That evens things at 2-2. Ricky Nolasco now 14-8 as he picks up the win. No home runs in that Marlins win. The Phillies hosted the Giants, and the Phils win it 9-3. Roy Oswalt now with the win, 8-13. Fastball just misses inside. Hill very fortunate for the second time tonight. Sees the count go 3-2. Oswalt beating Barry Zito in the process. Here's a change, line softly into left field. Coming on the left fielder Jackson, a nice jump and good speed to haul it in. A 1-2-3 fourth inning for the Blue Jays. So Dallas Braden, he is pitching well through 3.5. He and his A's hold a 2-1 lead. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Fan Radio Network. It's a 2-1 Oakland lead. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. 7-8-9 coming up against Brandon Morrow, Landon Powell, Steve Tollefson, and Cliff Pennington. Say, fans, you can get a free MLB backpack at the Jays shop. Spend $125 at any Jays shop location, and you receive a free MLB backpack. Offer valid while supplies last. Visit jaysshop.ca or call 1-888. Make that 1-887 Shop. So we go to the fourth inning, bottom of. Landon Powell struck out looking in the second inning. Morrow with just 2 strikeouts through his 3 innings, while walking 3 and yielding 3 hits. The first pitch off speed misses up and away. Powell, a left-hand hitting catcher. Big guy. The 1-0 changeup is up and away. 2-0 the count. Back on that Home Hardware out-of-town board, Atlanta hosted the Washington Nats, and the Braves had it their way. 10-2 the final for the Bravos. Mike Minor picking up his first win. Fastball, a strike taken. Diori Hernandez, his first home run. That's the only bomb of the game. So a 10-2 victory for the Braves. Braves now 70-49, playing great ball. 2-1 pitch, high fastball fouled back. The Houston Astros win over the Mets 4-3. Johan Santana taking the loss now, 10-7. Home runs to David Wright, his 18th. Hunter Pence had a pair. He also now has 18. The 2-2 from Morrow. Fastball popped up left side. That'll find the seats as it stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Padres just keep on winning in Chicago at Wrigley Field. They win over the Cubs 1-0. That run picked up in the first inning. John Garland now 12-8 as he picks up the win over Randy Wells, tough luck loser. Keith Bell save number 36. 2-2 pitch, slider just down and in. Good pitch from Morrow. Already announced 13,237 on hand here this evening. Apparently it doesn't take long to count them up here in Oakland. Here's a changeup fouled back.
Well, they got the 237 right.
Yeah, they did. Well, it's a little larger crowd than last night. I think we said, just around 300 folks last night. Now, legitimately, they are padding the numbers. Morrow back, the 3-2 pitch, fastball fouled again, third base side. High heat, and Landon simply not able to lay off.
Having said that, coming out here, watching the A's play in 72, 3, and 4, they would draw crowds like this on a regular basis in those great years.
3-2 once again. Fastball hit sharply on a hop, but right at Overbay. He'll glove and go to the bag himself, calling off Morrow. That's out number 1. A tough out to get in this fourth inning.
Now batting, third baseman, number 30, Steve Tollefson.
Tollefson 0 for 1 on the night. Fly to right field in the second inning. 3 other games underway in the National League on that Home Hardware out-of-town board. Milwaukee at St. Louis. That's a 3-2 Brewers lead in the ninth inning. First pitch misses on Tollefson, a right-hand hitter. Playing at third base, hitting .250 on the year. No homers. In fact, he hasn't driven in a run. He takes low. So on the second straight hitter on the inning here, Brandon Morrow falls behind. Cincinnati trailing at Arizona 2-0 in the fifth inning. Bronson Arroyo, he's gunning for win number 13, opposed by Daniel Hudson. 2-0 pitch. Change sails inside. So 3 balls and no strikes. And the only other game from the National League scoreless in the third inning at Dodger Stadium, the Rockies and Dodgers. Chacin and Kershaw on the hill. The 3-0 pitch. Strike called, maybe a bit up and in. Morrow gets the benefit of the call. 3-1 from the American League on that board. The Yankees win it 6-2 over the visiting Tigers. CC Sabathia now 16-5. He's quietly gone about business. Fastball hit sharply through the left side. That's a base hit. So on the 3-1, Tollefson hangs it out. Has the 4th hit of the night for the Oakland A's. Nine-hitter Cliff Pennington comes to the plate, had a base hit and stole a base, part of a double steal for the A's in the 2nd inning. The A's have picked up 3 stolen bases on the night. Seattle the winner at Baltimore. 4-0 the final there. Luke French wins his 2nd as he beats Kevin Millwood, who's 2-13. Quite a disappointing year for the veteran Millwood. Brandon League the save, his 3rd of the season. And 14,700 plus on hand in Baltimore. First pitch. Changeup is through there for a called strike.
There's a good slide step by Morrow. Didn't see that earlier when the A's were stealing some of those bases you talked about.
That's the one way you can certainly cut down on the running game. Now, Brian Tallett's starting to get loose in the Blue Jays pen. I don't know if there's possibly something ailing Brandon Morrow. Pitches inside, snap throw down to first from Molina. Tag applied by Overbay, but not in time. Just getting back in was Tollefson. There have been a number of what, for lack of anything else to call them, change-ups from Morrow between 85 and 87 miles an hour. His fastball has been in the low 90s this evening, and so not the numbers you're accustomed to seeing with Brandon Morrow. Another slide step. The pitch is fouled down the left field side, and again 85 miles an hour on that straight delivery. So very possible that Brandon Morrow has mentioned that things are not maybe the best he's felt all year. Purely supposition here from the booth, but the numbers would indicate that Brandon is not at full strength. 1-2 the count. Just the 4th inning, a 2-1 Oakland lead. Morrow to the plate. Pitch is fouled back. The Boston Red Sox have won again, 6-0 over the visiting Angels. Angels having a tough time, and that was Jared Weaver starting the ball game. He takes the loss, 11-8. Clay Buchholz just having a terrific year. Picks up the win, 14-5. Buchholz goes 7 innings in that one. Throw over to first base, driving the runner back to the bag. That's Tollefson. Darnell McDonald hit number 8 for the Red Sox. Ryan Kalish, a grand slam, his 2nd dinger of the year. Morrow picks up his sign. And the 1-2 instead of throw to first base. No tag applied. Diving in was Tollefson. Tampa Bay wins. So the Yankees, Red Sox, and Rays all win from the American League East. And the Rays win easily over the visiting Texas Rangers. 10-1 final. Matt Garza improves to 12-7, beating Tommy Hunter, who's done well but suffers the loss. 9-2 on the year. Carl Crawford, the game's only dinger, number 14. Here's a line drive to center. On comes Wells. He'll make the running grab. And back to first base is Tollefson. This ball hit right on the money. 2 down here in the 4th inning. It brings up the leadoff man, Coco Crisp.
Now batting, center fielder, number 4, Coco Crisp.
All I need.
2 other games to mention underway in the American League. The Twins now in the 10th inning, trailing the White Sox 6-5. Twins batting in that bottom of the 10th inning. Kotsay, Konerko, and Ramirez all with home runs for the White Sox. Hudson and Young have homered for the Twins. Morrow from that slide step brings a strike on the outside corner. And again, 85 miles an hour. Just not the Brandon Morrow that we've watched throughout the year. The other game at Kansas City, the Indians and Royals. Zach Greinke started against Genmar Gomez. Gomez off to a nice start, 3-0 for those Cleveland Indians. Another slide step. That changeup is outside. Nothing else to call it. And I'm sure Brandon Morrow, if that is his fastball, would tell you that he just simply doesn't have anything. And yet apparently nothing really hurting him would be the guess, because Cito Gaston's still going with him. 2-1 Oakland leading here in the fourth inning. Morrow set and brings it to the plate. Fastball inside. This one at 86. Two balls and a strike. In that game I just mentioned, the Indians and Royals, 2-1 Kansas City leading through 8 innings. A couple of home runs for the Royals. Throw over to first base, and again diving back in is Tollison. Junieski Betancourt, his 11th on the year. Wilson Betemik, his 6th. And that's everything on that home hardware out-of-town board here in the fourth inning. But again, Yankees, Red Sox, and Rays all winners from the American League East. Now the Blue Jays, 9 games back, try to hold pace here this evening as the pitch is low. 3-1 the count. Stepping out and now back in is Coco Crisp. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Overbay holding the bag at first, so a good hole on the right side for the left-hand hitter. Fastball is popped up. Left side going back, Encarnacion. It's his play to make, now drifting back into fair territory. He'll make the catch, and that'll do it for the A's in the fourth inning. We'll see if that does it for Brandon Morrow. No runs a hit. They leave a man. We go to the fifth inning. Jerry back at the mic, and the Blue Jays trailing it 2-1. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball right here on the Fan Radio Network.
Recaps this year are brought to you by Super 8 Worldwide. Destination Super. Visit super8.ca. Through 4, the A's have a 2-1 lead. Dallas Braden, he of the perfect game. Pitched right here in May against Tampa Bay. Comes in with a breaking ball that misses ball 1 to the left-handed hitting Blue Jays first baseman Lyle Overbay. Lyle grounded out his first time up. Swing and a miss on a nice change. 1-1. Edwin Encarnacion standing off to the right of home plate, swinging a bat, and then Jose Molina still in that Blue Jays first base dugout. 1-1 offering, fastball cracked on the ground, 2 hops to first. Derek Barton makes the play, 1 first baseman retiring another, and that opens up the 5th.
Number 12, Edwin Encarnacion.
Jerry Howarth along with Alan Ashby and our engineer Tom Young here at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum with Mike and Dylan Brown back in our Toronto studios. Great to have you with us on the Fan Radio Network, and very happy to have you with us on the internet wherever you happen to be. Encarnacion takes outside ball 1. The Blue Jays scored an unearned run in the top of the first inning. It was Dallas Braden's pickoff throw that went down the right field line as he drops in a curveball for a strike, 1-1. He had walked Junel Escobar with 1 out. He's in with a strike, 1-2. Tried to pick him off. Escobar scampered to third, and with the infield back, Jose Bautista grounded out his 90th RBI, and that brought home Escobar. Braden is low, 2-2. But in the bottom of the first off, Brandon Morrow doubles by the first 2 hitters, Coco Crisp and Derek Barton, tied the game. And then after a 1-out walk, 2 wild pitches brought home the go-ahead run. And it's 2-1 Oakland here in the 5th inning as Braden misses low, 3-2. And Brian Tallett's finishing his warm-ups down the right field line. So Brandon Morrow had a conversation with pitching coach Bruce Walton between innings. And that first base dugout is going to exit after 4. Encarnacion pops it up in front of the mound. Coming in the first baseman to make the catch, Derek Barton for the 2nd out.
Kind of intriguing to try to figure out what might be going on for Brandon Morrow, because Cito Gaston let him go out there and pitch the 4th inning. To me, that says Brandon said, look, Skip, I'm not hurting, but obviously something wasn't right.
In the back of my mind, I'm thinking August the 9th, 137 pitches, the 17 strikeouts, most of those on a devastating 87-mile-an-hour slider. He missed a couple of days in deference to that and pitching here tonight. Molina grounds one up the middle of the diamond. That's hopping, taken by the shortstop in shallow center. Cliff Pennington throws to first with a whirl-around move. Throws out Molina with one of the best plays you're going to see in the major leagues. There's that speed from Pennington up the middle to catch it, make a complete 360, and throw Molina out, robbing him of a base hit. With that, call it a 1-2-3 fifth, and we go to the bottom half. Oakland leads it 2-1 as Brian Talent is going to come on for Brandon Morrow. You're listening to Blue Jays baseball on the Fan Radio Network. Enjoy the rest of this season with MLB.TV. Watch out-of-market games live or on demand in HD quality. Packages now just $44.95 for the remainder of the season. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Brian Talent comes on for Brandon Morrow here in the bottom of the fifth inning. He issues a first pitch strike to the A's left-handed hitting first baseman Derek Barton, with Oakland ahead 2-1. They have just 4 hits, but the Blue Jays have only 1. Talent in with strike 2 called. And now all of a sudden the story of this game is not the final score, but Brandon Morrow's 80 pitches with 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a significant drop-off in velocity after the 137 pitch effort that he made in that brilliant game on August the 8th in Toronto with 17 strikeouts. There's strike 3 called, and Talent enters the game quickly to ring up Barton. So, Alan, that's a start that you'd have to feel a little nervous about because of anybody's elbow, shoulder.
Connor Jackson.
It was a conversation that you mentioned between Morrow and Bruce Walton. It wasn't just now you can't go back out there. The conversation kind of ensued. So it says to me there's nothing really ailing at the moment anyway, we hope.
Pitch is low and inside. Now, you've been in that dugout many times. What do you think Bruce Walton and Brandon talked about there between innings when he was lifted here?
I would imagine it could have included such things as velocity, obviously way down. Why do you feel that's the case?
There's a strike call.
Is there any impact that you're feeling from that previous great start and all the pitches that you just pointed out, 137? I would imagine it could be a number of things there.
Or maybe, and sometimes you hear, are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
1-1 pitch, nothing to do with the arm.
Right.
Do you feel okay?
Yeah, you can have a pitcher that is sick otherwise. Maybe even a leg muscle, although I never saw anything that would have been indicating a leg muscle bothering him.
Connor Jackson has struck out and walked. 2-1 A's, 5th inning, 1 out. Now it's pitch outside.
But when Brandon Morrow is throwing around 90 to 92, you say he doesn't have his good stuff tonight. When he's throwing 85 to 87, things are drastically off.
And he didn't have that biting 87-mile-an-hour slider. Talent's pitch, fastball high, ball 4.
Designated hitter, number 32.
We can tell you that in Double-A, if you missed it earlier, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats won their game 15-5 as pitched by Kyle Drabick, who won his 13th game. That leads the Double-A Eastern League, as caught by all-star catcher John Buck. And the left-hand hitting Jack Custup here, DH. He's walked and flied out. He takes outside ball 1. Not only did Buck, in his rehab assignment, catch Drabick, and that's something he wanted to do. Kyle went 5 innings. Buck helped him out with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. So John's feeling pretty good and ready to be activated Friday night at Fenway Park against Boston. Talent's outside, 2-0. Kyle Drabick is just 22. He came into this start here tonight for the Double-A Fisher Cats 12-9 with an ERA of 2.92. That's the whole key. The Blue Jays have been blessed with so many good starters, and Jesse Litch, Mark Zepchinski, even Brad Mills to a point. all factoring in toward the 63-55 mark. There's a strike called.
Now, I fall in the camp where earlier in the year when the Blue Jays have needed a spot start here or there, I wouldn't have minded at all. In fact, I would have been excited to see Kyle Drabek come on. But that's just my thinking. I've seen guys do it and do it well.
And then that gets into the front office regarding starting the clock toward free agency.
That probably is the larger factor.
And the 3-2 pitch fouled off Jose Molina, and that got him in the right foot. And he's kicking that foot out as he walks in front of home plate to toss a new ball back to Brian Talent.
Frankly, I think that's something the Players Association didn't think out all that well when they negotiated the deal as they have it, because I think it curtails the chance to get into the big leagues for a lot of young kids.
The A's 2 runs, 4 hits. 2 of those hits came in the first inning, back-to-back doubles by the first 2 hitters, Coco Crisp and Derek Barton. And then Morrow gave up a 2-out single to center in the second and a 1-out single to left in the fourth. But Morrow has left here after 80 pitches, turning the ball over to Talent here in the fifth. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Good fastball down and away. 2 down.
Now batting, second baseman, number 14, Mark Ellis.
When you look at Brandon Morrow's first 9 starts this year, he was 3-4 with an ERA of 6.8, and opponents had hit 286 off him. Now his last 4 starts prior to this start tonight, 4-0 with an ERA of 2.96, and opponents hitting a paltry 182 off him. The batter is the right-handed hitting Mark Ellis, and he takes low, ball 1. That's why his exit here tonight is even more alarming. He was in such a great groove over his last 4 starts. Ellis has flied out to center and flied out to left each time, leaving a runner in scoring position. Jackson's at first base. The A's have stolen 3 bases tonight. He does not go. The pitch hammered to left field. Back to get it, Travis Snyder. He makes the catch over his cap. And on that line drive, the inning is over. No runs, no hits, a walk, 2 strikeouts, and 1 left. Through 5. The A's 2, the Blue Jays 1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Fan Radio Network. Our game here tonight is brought to you by Fido. Save with talk and text plans from $15 per month and phones at $0 with a Fido agreement. Through 5, 2-1 Oakland. Lefty Dallas Braden on the mound. Braden cost his 4th complete game of the season. In his last start, he beat Seattle 5-1. In fact, for Braden, he has 4 complete games. That's the most complete games by an A's pitcher since Mark Mulder, their fine left-hander, had 5 6 years ago in 2004.
45, Travis Snyder.
That tells you that as a Blue Jays broadcaster, you're spoiled with what Roy Halladay did the last few years, because a lot of teams would probably fit in that mold, but 4 complete games, the most for any pitcher in Oakland out here in 6 years.
They don't grow them like they used to. Where are the days of the Oakland A's starters with 20-plus complete games over the course of a year?
Well, one's in the Blue Jays bullpen. Pitching coach Rick Langford out there.
Just amazing stats.
Here's Travis Snyder, who takes a strike called. 2-1 A's as Travis in the leadoff spot is lined out to center and struck out. The pitch golfed into the air into right center field, hit pretty well, but not deep enough to go. Rajai Davis, the right fielder, makes the backhanded catch on the track in right center.
I got to hand it to this ballpark. This is one impressive place. It'll hold down a fly ball and drive like maybe no other. San Diego, possibly.
You know, the amazing thing about, we were talking to Rick coming over on the bus yesterday, and yesterday was an anniversary of Rick Langford winning a start in Oakland here in 1980 under Billy Martin and the Billy Ball team at that time. Here's Junel Escobar. He's walked twice. Takes strike 1 called. Rick, yesterday, back in 1980, so we're talking 30 years ago, pitched a complete game. Pitch is in there for a strike. It was his 6th straight complete game. Now, that's pretty impressive. But it was part of the A's starters pitching 22 consecutive complete games.
Do you know that Rick Langford had 75 complete games over a 4-season span?
Well, when you toss in 28 in 1 year, I can believe that. There's a strike called, and Escobar's gone. 2 down.
Number 19, Jose Bautista.
Now for Dallas Braden, he's retired 9 straight now. And 11 of 12. He's allowed just 1 hit. There's a breaking ball, curveball in there for a strike to Jose Bautista, who has grounded out to short. That was in the first inning to knock home Escobar from third, and he struck out, leaving 2 on. A check swing foul goes to the backstop, 0-2. The Blue Jays' lone run came in the first inning. Snyder lined out. Braden walked Escobar, then tried to pick him off to it down the right field line. Escobar went to third, and with the infield back, Bautista, with a ground out to short, brought him home. Strike 2 pitch foul back. And from that point on, the Blue Jays have 1 hit. Encarnacion's leadoff single to left in the third. One thing about Dallas Braden, he's very much like Roy Halladay. He gets the ball, and he's ready to pitch. This is one of the quick workers we've seen, much like Mark Burley with the White Sox. The 2 pitch outside.
I think it serves his style extremely well.
Very impressive start for him. He comes back 1-2 outside.
He just almost eephus tosses that changeup to the plate. 70 miles an hour right there. It just looks like it's floating.
Braden without the run support you'd like to have. 7 wins, 8 losses. ERA 3.56. Two down, 6th inning, 2-1 A's. And the 2-2 pitch outside.
Back when you were starting your Major League broadcast career, what was it like to watch that Rip Sewell eephus pitch?
It was baffling. I was shocked when people even made contact. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a 69-mile-an-hour eephus pitch. And with that, the inning is over. Dallas Braden rolling along. That's 5 strikeouts. He's retired 10 straight. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The A's 2, the Blue Jays 1. You're listening to Blue Jays baseball from a broadcaster who's been around 93 years now on the Fan Radio Network. Our broadcast tonight is brought to you in part by Home Hardware and Building Center Locations. Homeowners helping homeowners. Rajai Davis shows bunt, takes a strike, leading off the Oakland bottom of the 6th. A's lead it 2-1. Left-handed reliever Brian Talent cuts it loose. Fastball grounded right to third. Playing in, even with the bag, was Encarnacion, so he has no problem throwing out the Fleet Davis. 0 for 3 and 0 for 6 in the series, keeping 36 stolen bases on the bench.
Now batting, the catcher, number 35, Landon Powell.
Here's the switch-hitting catcher, Landon Powell. He has struck out and grounded out. On that Home Hardware out-of-town scoreboard, big win for Minnesota at Target Field in 10, beating the White Sox. There's another ground ball hit to third. Encarnacion another one. Same result, 2 quick outs. Minnesota scored 4 in the first inning against the White Sox and took a 4-0 lead. And then later, the White Sox caught them with a run in the 9th.
Number 30, Steve Collison.
The game was tied 5-5, end of 9. Then the White Sox scored a run in the 10th inning. But Matt Thornton, the fine left-handed pitcher and sometimes closer, gave up 2 in the bottom of the 10th inning. A 2-run home run to Jim Thome, lefty against lefty, to win it for the Twins, 7-6. What a game. There's a strike call. The Twins now lead the White Sox by 4 games. That's a devastating loss for Chicago after they take the lead in a raucous Target Field, 40,714 to see that victory when it's all said and done. Ground ball foul, third base side. What a year for the Twins.
Really responded well, and you know, every city that puts up a new ballpark loves to have their team play well in that maiden voyage year, and they've done it.
Orlando Hudson, the former Blue Jay, a home run for Minnesota, his 6th. Delman Young, his 15th. Jim Thome's game winner, his 17th. Strike 2 pitch to Powell outside. That's a significant game right off the top. The Yankees at home won their game beat the Tigers 6-2, while Tampa Bay at home won theirs, trouncing the Rangers 10-1. So it's still even Steven. The Yankees and Rays tied for first in the American League East. Two best records in baseball. Talent is in low, 2-2. The Red Sox, with just a narrow 3.5 game lead on the fourth place Blue Jays, won at Fenway Park. They shut out the Angels 6-0. In Kansas City at home, in the game between two second division clubs there in the Central Division, edged Cleveland 2-1. 2-2 pitch, line to the mound, off the glove of Talent. The ball ricochets into center field, and with that, Powell has a one-out base hit for Stephen Tollison.
Shortstop, number two, Cliff Pennington.
We talk a lot of times, Jerry, about the fifth infielder, and Brian Talent was not that. Just not a good position after delivering the pitch on a ball hit right back to the mound.
And after the two ground outs to third, that's Tollison with a base hit. Here is Cliff Pennington. Switch hitting shortstop, shows bunt, takes inside ball one here in the Oakland sixth inning. The A's 2, the Blue Jays 1. Brandon Morrow is the story of this game for the Blue Jays. He went 4 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits through 80 pitches, and was lifted. Brian Talent was warming up in the fourth, so don't know what happened to Brandon, but we know he wasn't right. There's a pop-up on the infield. Overbay at first, comes in on the grass, now backpedals onto the dirt, makes a two-handed catch to make sure, and that ends the inning. No runs, a base hit by Tollison, and 1 man left on. Through 6 with Allen up for the 7th here in Oakland. The A's 2, the Blue Jays 1, as you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Fan Radio Network.
It's a 2-1 Oakland lead. All the runs scored in the first inning. The Blue Jays got on the board as Junel Escobar walked. Dallas Braden tried to pick him off and was charged with a 2-base throwing error. Escobar went all the way to third and scored on the ground ball out by Jose Bautista. That's all the Blue Jays have been able to come up with. The A's scored 2 in the first inning. And that's where we stand right now. Dallas Braden works the first pitch of this 7th inning to Vernon Wells and misses down and away. Wells is 0 for 2. He takes a strike at the knees. Now defensively, a change for the Oakland A's. Kevin Kuzmanoff is at third base, taking over for Steve Tollison. Here's a drive to center field, well hit, but not well enough. In front of the warning track, Coco Crisp will make the catch. Out number 1.
Defensive change for the Athletics. Now playing third base and batting in the 8th position. Number 5, Kevin Kuzmanoff. Number 26, Adam Lynn.
So the A's go a little stronger defensively. Get Kuzmanoff in at third base. Dallas Braden is a contact-type pitcher. He brings a slow curveball for a strike on Lind, who is 0 for 2. Lind fly deep to right field in the 2nd inning, then popped to second. That in the 4th. 0 for 2 on the night. Swings and fouls one third base side. Say fans or super fans, we've got a super fan contest coming up. Win a trip to a Jays game Saturday against the Oakland A's September 25th. So it is Saturday, September 25th at the Rogers Center. Prize includes airfare, hotel accommodations, and $1,000 cash to be able to spend the way you like. Fastball way high. To enter, visit BlueJays.com. Contest closes Sunday, August 29th. And that is against the Baltimore Orioles. Lind starts the bat, holds it back nicely, takes low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Lind, batting with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Blue Jays do not have an earned run against Dallas Braden here on the evening. Braden stares in over the glove, gets his sign from his catcher Landon Powell, and the pitch is hit sharply, but right at the first baseman Barton, right about shoe top high. He gloves it on the backhand side. So it's a line out to first. That's 2 down and brings up Aaron Hill.
Now batting number 2, Aaron Hill.
Second ball that Lind has hit well tonight against the left-hander. Nothing to show for it. Aaron Hill has struck out and flied to left. So 0 for 2 on the night for Aaron, now hitting .215. And the first pitch misses low. 1 run on 1 Toronto base hit. That lone hit came off the bat of Edwin Encarnacion in the third inning. Leading off hit one sharply through the left side. Hill hammers one deep to left field, back at the wall. This one is off the wall. Hill around first will dig for second and make it easily as Connor Jackson dropped it momentarily. So Aaron Hill will get a double on the play. Second hit of the night for the Jays. Aaron comes very close to tying this game.
35, Lyle Overbay.
But home runs simply do not come easily here at this ballpark. The Oakland Alameda Coliseum, now once again known as.
And that line drive was right off Dallas Braden on the mound and right off Dallas Braden's decal there on the left field wall where he's celebrating his perfect game back here in May.
Saved by the decal is Dallas Braden as it brings up left-hand hitting Lyle Overbay. 0 for 2, grounding out twice to the right side. And he takes up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Lyle hitting .246 on the year. 13 homers. He's driven in 46. Tying run at second base here in the 7th inning. The pitch is lined down the left field side. That's a base hit. And the Blue Jays will tie it as Aaron Hill comes in. Digging for second is Overbay. He's in standing. RBI double. And we're tied at 2. For Lyle Overbay is 47th RBI on the year.
Now batting, number 12, Edwin Encarnacion.
Well, there's another play, too, where Aaron rounded third base, and it looked like a concession run. He looked over his left shoulder back at the throw, and there was a play at second base, and Aaron had to kind of reaccelerate there to make sure that he crossed the plate if Overbay maybe had been tagged out.
You shouldn't have to remind a runner coming around third base to go as hard as you can, but I'm sure Brian Butterfield was doing just that. Lyle Overbay, a big smile on his face, relieved that he's safely into second base and the run scores. For Overbay, double number 27 for Aaron Hill. That was his 17th on the year. It brings up Edwin Encarnacion, a chance to give the Blue Jays a lead here in the 7th inning. He takes a strike. The 0-1 pitch, check swing on a pitch outside. And now left-hander Craig Breslow getting loose in that Oakland A's pen down the left field side. Changeup misses low from Braden. 2-1 the count. Waiting on deck is Jose Molina. Braden comes set and brings it. Edwin swings and fouls it back off the glove of the catcher Powell. The count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a nice swing by Overbay from the standpoint it takes Brandon Morrow into the category of a no decision after his 4 innings. And Brian Talent had 2 scoreless innings. He's a pitcher of record right now to win what he's done here to help out for Morrow.
2-2 pitch is down and away. That'll fill it. And now with first base open, that 3-2 count on Edwin. Braden leans in for the sign. Encarnacion settles into that box. Braden comes set. And the 3-2 changeup popped up on the right side. First baseman Derek Barton calling. He'll make the catch in fair territory, and that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the 7th. But they get a run on 2 hits. A pair of doubles coming with 2 outs from Hill and Overbay, and they leave a man. Through 6.5, we're tied at 2. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball here on the Fan Radio Network. We are back in Oakland. Game 2 of the 3-game series, and the Blue Jays have tied it at 2 on the RBI double by Lyle Overbay, RBI number 47 on the year, plating Aaron Hill, who had doubled just in front of him on a ball that hits off the wall in left field. So the Blue Jays have all of 3 hits on the night, but are tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Top of the order for the Oakland A's against left-hander Brian Talent, who now gets set to work his 3rd inning of the night. Our game brought to you by Rogers. Tired of dealing with machines? Get the attention your business deserves. Switch to Live Agent for small business, only from Rogers. Leadoff man Coco Crisp will stand in.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th inning for the Athletics, center fielder, number 4, Coco Crisp.
Crisp 1 for 2 on the night, had a first inning double and scored the first run for the Oakland A's. They picked up their 2 runs in that first inning. RBI double by Derek Barton right on the heels of that double by Coco Crisp. And then a couple of wild pitches providing that second run. Pitches lined into left field past Encarnacion. It's a leadoff hit. Crisp hard around first. A big turn, but Travis Snyder gets it back in very well and holds the speedy Crisp to a single. A nice play in left by Travis Snyder.
Now batting, first baseman, number 10, Derek Barton.
And that is a key 90 feet that Travis Snyder is able to prevent right there with that nice play defensively. Now 2-hitter Derek Barton stands in, 1 for 3 on his night. RBI double in the first inning. He has flied out and struck out looking since. Talent has the runner right in front of him as he comes set and throws over to first base. The A's with 3 stolen bases on the night. They've had a double steal and now loosening for the Blue Jays in their bullpen. It is right-hander Sean Camp getting loose. Talent comes set. Edwin Encarnacion drawing in on the third base side as a strike is delivered on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Barton, a left-hand hitter, has a long check on down to his third base coach, Mike Gallego. Seeing if the A's might play the bunting game. Good lead by Crisp, held on by Overbay. Talent brings it down and away, a close pitch. A ball and a strike. Barton hitting .269 on the year. Waiting on deck is the 3-hitter Connor Jackson. Barton crouches at the knees, and now Talent throws over to first. Barton with 5 home runs on the year. Just a youngster, 25 years of age. Has not homered here in the second half of the season. He takes down and away. 2-1 the count. So all 5 of the home runs for Barton coming in the first half. That and 320 at-bats in that first half. Double play depth at short and second. Talent works the 2-1 pitch. Hit sharply on the ground past Hill into right field. That's a base hit. Crisp will have to stop at second as Bautista comes charging and then fires to third. A perfect one-hop throw, and Coco Crisp very wise in staying where he was at. So very nice defensive plays on both corners in the outfield for the Blue Jays here in this 7th inning. Otherwise, the A's might have had a shot to be on the board already. Instead, runners at first and second on back-to-back hits, and that'll bring up Cito Gaston, who comes out to the mound. He is pointed to the pen. He'll bring on Sean Camp as he'll face the right-hand hitting Connor Jackson. So a 2-2 ball game as Brian Talent now heads toward that first base dugout. And that gives us a good shot to go back with Mike Wilner for a little Mic'd Up Live.
I don't know. I kind of wanted to listen to the music at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum for a little while longer. Oh, there we go. Lovely. Let's take a
Thanks, Mike, and we'll see how the A's play it. They've got their big guy at the plate, Connor Jackson. Nobody out runners at first and second in this 2-2 tie here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 7 hits now for the A's, just 3 for the Blue Jays on the night. So fortunate to be even in this game. Connor Jackson has a couple of walks and a stolen base. He is also struck out looking. Big right-hand hitter. But Edwin Encarnacion has to play in on the third base side, about even with the bag. The runners go. The pitch is low. Throw to third. Not in time. Just one runner winds up going. That's Coco Crisp. Derek Barton started and then put on the brakes. So it is not a double steal. Instead, just a solo job by Coco Crisp. Number 4 on the night for the running A's. And so when you work with runners on base with these Oakland A's, you better be ready for that running game. And now that go-ahead run just 90 feet away, nobody out here in the 7th inning, and a big assignment for Sean Camp. Camp comes set. And the pitch, fastball, is tapped foul back to the screen. The Blue Jays bring the infield in a bit, but not what you'd call infield in. They are still double play depth, and apparently willing to give up that go-ahead run here in the 7th inning to get a double play. But now the infield draws in. So one pitch there is fouled back with that infield playing back, and now they draw it in and maybe providing themselves a chance to freeze the runner at third and still possibly get a double play. They're not all the way on the grass. Here's a big swing and a miss by Jackson. The count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now Nick Leyva flashing out signs to the infield. Sean Camp trying to get a very big first out. 0-2 the count on Connor Jackson, and he gets it. Pitches up and away, not even close to the strike zone, but a swing and a miss. And Jackson strikes out for the second time tonight, and a key first out of the inning.
Number 32.
And now the infield can play back. Try to get that double play at short and second. Jack Cust at the plate, doesn't run all that well. Powerful left-hand hitter. He has walked, flied out, and struck out. A's now have a left-hander loosening in their pen. That is the lefty Craig Breslow. We've seen him up previously. Camp comes set and brings it. The pitch is fouled down the left field side. Brandon Morrow started, worked 4 innings, allowing 4 hits and 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks on the night and 2 strikeouts, needing 80 pitches to get through those 4 innings. Didn't have his good stuff. We don't have any indication as to whether there's any injury at all involved. Brian Tallett worked 2 innings, allowing 3 hits. These runners both belonging to Tallett. Camp comes set, and the pitch is outside. Jays with a run in the first inning, a run in the 7th. That first inning run unearned. And the Oakland A's, their 2 runs coming in the first. You anticipate well-pitched games here in this ballpark, especially at night, and that is certainly the case tonight. The pitch is tapped foul third base side right off the end of the bat of Cust. And now 1-2 the count as Sean Camp tries to take the advantage on his side. A leadoff single by Coco Crisp could easily have been a double if not for the fine play by Travis Snyder. A base hit by Derek Barton to right field could easily have sent Crisp to third base if not for the fine play and strong arm of Bautista in right. And the Blue Jays trying to hold it here. Breaking ball just outside. Backdoor slider from Camp, and he just didn't quite get it there in the estimation of the home plate umpire. That's Bob Davidson here this evening. 2-2 the count. Waiting on deck, second baseman Mark Ellis. Camp starts to come set and then steps off the rubber. A big point in the ball game. Runners at first and third. 1 out and a 2-2 count. Camp's pitch is tapped slowly to Aaron Hill. He'll come on, tag the runner and throw to first and throw it away. Overbay can't come up with it. A run will score. Digging for second is Cuss, and he's in there as the throw from Sean Camp is a bit late. The Blue Jays come ever so close to turning a double play. Aaron Hill applying the tag on the runner, Barton going by. And Aaron then had to spin around and throw awkwardly. And the throw-off line off the glove of Overbay. And that go-ahead run comes in.
Number 14, Ellis.
And if this game gets away from the Blue Jays, this will be the play they look at. So 3-2 A's on top here in the 7th inning. And with Cust at second base on the fielder's choice, and I would assume the E4, it brings up Mark Ellis. First offering, a slider, is down and away. So Barton has erased 4 unassisted. Well, the opportunity was right there for the Blue Jays to get out of the inning. Camp to the plate. It's lined into center field. That's a base hit. They're not going to get out with just 1 run. They're going to be 2, as crossing the plate is Jack Cust. And the A's take a 4-2 lead here in the 7th inning. What a difference one play can make in a ball game. Mark Ellis takes a good-looking slider down and away and lines it into right center field. And now you have to be aware of that running game, but the A's, a key pair of runs here in this 7th. Sean Camp, aware of the running game, throws over to first base. But that's not what's going to stop it. It's going to be quickness to the plate. Otherwise, it would appear the A's will just keep on running. Pitch is lined into left field off the bat of Rajay Davis. That's a base hit and kicks off the glove and body of Snyder. And here comes Ellis. He will score. Back at second base is Rajay Davis. This should go as a single and an error on Travis Snyder, enabling the A's to take a 5-2 lead. Travis Snyder was right there, moving to his right, and the ball simply kicks off the glove. And a costly error. But now 5-2, the A's on top. It brings up 7-hitter, the catcher Landon Powell. And it has just exploded here against the Blue Jays following that errant throw from Aaron Hill. Landon Powell, a left-hand hitter. He now settles back in. Timeout briefly called. It would appear that left-hander Craig Breslow will come in to start the 8th inning for the Oakland A's. And now Blue Jays will get Jesse Carlson loose in their pen down the right field side. Jose Molina has been wearing it out between home plate and the mound this evening. He's out there at the hill, chatting things over with Sean Camp, and now retreats to the plate. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Blue Jays, both coming here in the 7th inning. 1 on Aaron Hill, 1 on Travis Snyder, and very costly indeed. 5 runs, 9 hits, an error for the Oakland A's, and that error led to a run unearned against Dallas Braden. Camp spins and does not throw to second base. Davis runs very well. Camp spins as he starts toward the plate. So obviously Sean Camp has on his mind this running game of these Oakland A's. 4 stolen bases on the night. 104 on the year. Camp to the plate. Sinker right there at the knees for a strike. Maybe the changeup from Camp.
How about this, too? The A's have 4 hits in the 7th inning. That makes it 9 hits for the game. Tonight they have more hits than they've had in their last 3 games combined, when they had 7.
It's an explosion for the A's bats. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Sinker down and away.
I'll guarantee you those pitchers for Oakland are saying that. It's about time, boys.
It's very tough when you're on a pitching staff and you're pitching well as the A's have. Their numbers are terrific on the year, in particular right here in this ballpark. But not much to show for it.
Their starters have the lowest ERA in the American League.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, grounded slowly foul first base side. A ball and 2 strikes on Powell, hitting just .220 on the year.
3 hits, 1 run reserved, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run.
Not only that, you look at the A's staff. Lowest earned run average in the American League, 3.57. And they're 3 games under 500.
They pitched very well on the starting staff, the relief corps as well. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Popped up in the air, shallow in left field, going out Escobar, but it's Travis Snider's play to make. He'll make the catch, and that'll do it for the A's in the 7th inning, but not before they put 3 on the board with 4 hits and 2 extremely costly errors. We go to the 8th inning. Jerry back at the mic, and the A's now own a 5-2 lead over the Blue Jays. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Fan Radio Network.
Well, now they're sitting again with probably a little more attention now toward this Molina next swing. It's on its way. A swing and a miss, strike 3, and Breslow enters the game with a strikeout.
Yeah, those guys down in the bullpen are saying it's cold, Jerry.
Number 45, Travis
Snider.
This Super 8th inning brought to you by Super 8 Worldwide. Destination Super. Visit super8.ca. The Blue Jays scored an unearned run in the 1st inning off Dallas Braden. A 1-out walk, and then Braden tried to pick off the runner at first, Junel Escobar, and threw it down the right field line. Escobar raced to third. With the infield back, Jose Bautista's ground out to short brought in Escobar with Jose's 90th RBI. It made it 1-0. Travis up, Snider takes up and in, ball 1. Now a strike on the inside corner, evens the count at 1-1. In the bottom of the 1st off Brandon Morrow, he gave up back-to-back doubles to the first 2 hitters, Coco Crisp and Derek Barton, and that tied the game just like that at 1. Snider hits one foul, third base side. Later, Brandon, with 2 wild pitches, saw Barton score from second. The wild pitch getting him to third, and then the next one home. That made it 2-1. In the 7th, with 2 down, the Blue Jays with back-to-back doubles. Hill to left, Overbay into the left field corner as well. That tied it at 2. But the A's have just scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning to take a 5-2 lead. Breaking ball fouled off into the mezzanine off to our left. Still a ball and 2 strikes. And that's going down. Snider, it's a lazy fly ball to left. Connor Jackson looks up into that nighttime black sky, makes the catch. 2 away. Travis now 0 for 4.
And it's not because the Blue Jays have an overly loaded left-handed lineup on a regular basis. Right-hand hitters haven't done much of a thing at all. John Buck is the guy who really has torn up left-hand pitching.
And AA pitching, too.
Yeah, they can attest to that.
Tonight, the AA New Hampshire Fisher Cats won 15-5. Junel Escobar takes outside ball 1, and in John Buck's first assignment, he caught and helped Kyle Drabick win his AA Eastern League 13th game. He's 13-9. And Buck, there's a line drive to the mound, knocked down by the pitcher. Breslow picks it up, throws high to first, not in time. Escobar with an infield hit, and it was Breslow who was hit. But it looked like he got his glove up to protect himself, and now bent over in some pain. He's going to get some help here from the trainer and man. Here in Oakland, Michael Wirtz getting as much time as he needs to warm up. Just about finished here as Craig Breslow, with 2 down, took a viciously hit line drive up around the upper body and left arm. Had to leave the game just for precautionary measures. The A's didn't want to take a chance. And Jose Bautista waits here. for Wirtz to finish his warm-ups. Jesse Carlson is down the right field line. He's finished his warm-ups. He's going to pitch to Oakland in the bottom of the 8th. Here at the Coliseum, the A's lead it 5-2. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 9-4. And really, Alan, the key to the game now is the ground ball off the bat of Jack Cust, where Aaron Hill came in and caught it and had a collision with the base runner, Derek Barton, and then an off-balance throw as he spun around like a top on the infield was just to the right of Overbay, who stretched out. The ball kicked off his glove, and had the ball been just a little bit tighter to Overbay, that double play ends the inning and is still tied 2-2.
It's one of those plays that is not easy for anybody. Aaron Hill can't be happy with the throw he came up with, but slightly on the home plate side, I think on Overbay, he might have gotten his feet in position a little too early to adjust to a throw that wasn't dead on line. So I'm not so sure that the blame lies all in Aaron's direction.
No, it was a tough play, but the bottom line, the throw was to the right of Overbay, who had to reach out for it, and Aaron was charged with an error. Run scored. And the upshot of it all, 3 runs scored, 2 earned, 1 unearned on 4 hits. And the A's have a 3-run lead. Here's Bautista. He takes a strike on the outside corner. The A's, for them, that's a windfall to get 3 runs in an inning, let alone 5 in a game. They've lost 4 in a row. They're 57-60 coming into this game. The lead at first base by Escobar. The pitch is in there for a strike, 0-2. Remember, the A's are without their Rookie of the Year last year and closer Andrew Bailey with 20 saves. He's on the disabled list, so here's Wirtz with 5 saves to pick him up. Strike 2 pitch. Bounce to the plate, gets away from the catcher Landon Powell, and on that wild pitch, Escobar goes up to second. Now Jose, who drove in his 90th with a ground out to short back in the first inning, a runner at third, that was Escobar with 1 out, has since struck out twice. He's 0 for 3. Now a chance to draw the Blue Jays to within 2, if not 1, if he cranks 1 out. And the right-hander's pitch. Breaking ball fouled right off the mask of Bob Davidson. That got him pretty good. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Andrew Bailey with the rib cage strain. He went on the disabled list July the 21st. And just made his 2nd consecutive American League All-Star team. One of the best young pitchers around. But on the shelf now. Fastball high. That's the kid who last year made the jump from Double-A to the major leagues. Named the Rookie of the Year. And showing, Alan, that oftentimes a player or a pitcher can come from Double-A right to the show, as they say. 2-2 pitch, low, ball 3. Doesn't happen often, but it can happen.
Doesn't happen nearly as often as it once did, and I think it's because of the concern that major league teams have with the young players. In particular, the way if you bring them up early, then it starts that clock rolling toward arbitration and free agency and all those sorts of things.
If you're going to bring him up, you want to have him pitch the whole year. And that's what the A's did with Bailey, and they got a great result. Escobar the lead at second, 2 outs in the 8th. And now stepping off the rubber is the right-hander Wirtz. Michael spells that last name W-U-E-R-T-Z, or Z, if you will. He's not allowed an earned run in 17 of his last 19 appearances. The runner goes. The pitch whacked the left, down the line, hooking, foul. And we go again. In fact, for Michael Wirtz, not a bad call for Bob Guerin to bring him in. He's not allowed to run in 7 career outings against the Blue Jays. And with the 2 outs here in this 8th inning, that totes up to 9 innings. The Blue Jays trying to solve him here and try and get back in the game. The Blue Jays are down to their last 4 outs. Bautista ready, so is Wirtz. It's all right-hander set. Look at second, long look. Now the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider, strike 3, and Jose breaks his bat right there at home plate in utter frustration. His 3rd straight strikeout. So a runner left on at second takes us to the bottom of the 8th inning. The A's 5, the Blue Jays 2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Fan Radio Network. You're a real Blue Jays. Our broadcast tonight is brought to you in part by Home Hardware and Building Center Locations.
Jesse Carlson.
Homeowners helping homeowners. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jesse Carlson comes on. 5-2 Oakland. Carlson just promoted from AAA Las Vegas, joined the club here on this West Coast trip. Jesse in 45 games with the Las Vegas 51s went 3-1 with an ERA of 4.24. Had 4 saves. He led the Blue Jays in appearances the last 2 years. In 08, 69 games. Last year, 73 games.
Third baseman, number 5, Kevin Kuzminoff.
So here is Kevin Kuzminoff up for his first at-bat. It's always frustrating when the needle gets stuck on the record. So here's the right-handed hitting veteran, former San Diego Padre. Last 7 games, Kuzminoff 1 for 23. Carlson, welcome back to the big leagues, Jesse. His fastball is outside, ball 1. Brandon Morrow went 4 innings, that's all, through 80 pitches. Didn't have a lot of velocity on his pitches. Gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. Struck out 2. He walked 3. Kuzminoff hits one to right center field. Long run for Vernon. He won't get there. That's a base hit. Wells picks it up on the track. Kuzminoff into second. And there's his second hit in 24 at-bats.
Jesse kind of leaves one through the heart of the plate, and Kuzminoff found a pitch he could handle.
Shortstop, number 2, Cliff Pennington.
Well, the shortstop, Cliff Pennington, switch hitter comes up. Kuzminoff with his 28th double. Kuzminoff at second base. Pennington up here, 1 for 3, shows bunt and drops it beautifully down third. Taken by Encarnacion. Snap a throw to Overbay covering. And the sacrifice bunt moves Kuzminoff to third.
Now batting, center fielder, number 4, Coco Chris.
Nice job by Edwin to not create any further problems here. He just uses the glove and the bare hand, takes his time, and makes sure he gets the out at first base.
Now with the infield drawn in, here's the speedy Coco Crisp, another switch hitter batting right-handed. Carlson's pitch to him, pop foul back out of play. We also saw great technique from Pennington. You've talked before, Alan, about bunting a ball off the end of the bat to deaden it. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, that was your perfect sacrifice bunt.
Crisp has scored a couple of runs. He is 2 for 3 with a walk, single and a double. Carlson slider outside, 1-1. Crisp opened the game with a double, and the next hitter, Derek Barton, doubled him home. That was how Brandon Morrow was rudely greeted here tonight. And 2 wild pitches later, the A's had a 2-1 lead. Ground ball wide of third into left field. It bounces, a base hit. That's going to cash in Kuzminoff. And an extra run for Oakland, leading 6-2 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Like 2 weeks worth of runs here for the A's.
Now batting, first baseman, number 10, Darren Barton.
And if you're Jesse Carlson, that's got to be a little disappointing. You spend 4.5 months in AAA to come up and give up a double, a sacrifice bunt, and a ground ball single with the infield drawn in. Here's Derek Barton, left-handed hitter, and the ball squirts right over the glove of Molina and goes to the backstop. Crisp around second, stops as Jose, now near that A's third base dugout, picks it up, and it'll be just one base on a pass ball.
Yeah, Jose just plays the jogging game here, and tell you what, these Oakland A's don't play a lot of jogging game. Coco Crisp was ready to take another 90.
6 runs, 11 hits for the A's. 2 runs, just 4 hits for the Blue Jays. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tomorrow afternoon, what appears to be now rubber game of the series if the Blue Jays don't get back 4 to get at least even. There's a ground ball pulled to the right side. Hill has it at second, plugs up the hole, throws on to first. That gets Barton out, but now moves Crisp to third with 2 away.
Now batting, left fielder, number 28, Connor Jackson.
Tomorrow in the matinee game, we're on the air at 3:30 Eastern. We'll give you the lineups and first pitch, and away we go. Gio Gonzalez, a left-hander, 10-8 for the A's. Mark Zepchinski, fresh off a victory, he's 1-1 with the Blue Jays in 3 starts and 5 games. We're going to walk Jackson, the right-handed hitter, intentionally to get to the left-handed hitting DH, Jack Cust. There's ball 1 and now ball 2 outside. Zepchinski pitched very well in front of his mom and dad, Mike and Jan. He's an only child that grew up in Yorba Linda in Southern California, 10 minutes from Anaheim's Angel Stadium, and he's going to come tomorrow to the mound with 7 scoreless innings in that start. Blue Jays shut out the Angels on a 3-hitter. Zepchinski went the first 7. Scott Downs did not allow a run in the 8th, and Kevin Gregg with a 1-2-3 9th inning for that win. So Zepchinski tomorrow against Gio Gonzalez. Join us at 3:30 Eastern and 3:35 first pitch. Here the A's with a 4-run lead. Jack Cust up. Runners at first and third. 2 outs. Cust fouls one down the left field side. Strike 1. Cam makes a nice catch running along the concourse there, and he's still running. Got his glove in his hand, got his green shirt on with the A's green and gold cap. Came running down from his front row seat, caught the ball, paraded through another section, went back to his seat. Now he's high-fiving everybody. Well, why not? That's the play of the game.
Plenty of room to run here, we might add.
That's what you really call foul territory. Pitch hit Cust. Hit him on the right hand, and the bases are loaded. Carlson having a tough time here in his first outing this year with the Blue Jays.
Now batting, second baseman, number 14, Mark Ellis.
Well, that shot looked like it caught Cust right on the right elbow.
He was in pain. He's at first. Up to second, Connor Jackson. And at third, Coco Crisp. 2 down. Batter Mark Ellis, right-handed hitter and second baseman. Fastball strike, belt high, 0-1. Ellis 1 for 4, but the one was an RBI single to center, part of a 3-run 7th inning. His hit made it 4-2. He would later score on a base hit by Rajai Davis and an error on that play by left fielder Travis Snyder. Pitch outside, 1-1. An announced crowd of 13,237 here tonight. 1-1 pitch, line to second on a hop, taken by Hill, underhand toss to the bag at second. There's Escobar to catch it and end the inning. So the A's get a run, leave the bases loaded, and with that we go to the 9th. It's 6-2 Oakland. You're listening to Blue Jays baseball on the Fan Radio Network. And watch the Blue Jays on your BlackBerry, your iPhone, or your iPod Touch. Streaming play-by-play and video highlights are available. Go to BlueJays.com for details. Top of the 9th inning. Last call for the Blue Jays, trailing Oakland 6-2. Right-hander Michael Wirtz to face Wells, Lind, and Hill. Wirtz delivers fastball for a strike. On that Home Hardware out-of-town scoreboard, the big game tonight at Target Field in Minnesota. Jim Thome, a walk-off 2-run home run on the bottom of the 10th inning. Twins beat the White Sox 7-6. Wells hits a high fly ball to left field pretty deep. Back together, Jackson. Connors at the fence. He's there. Makes the catch. Deep onto the track there with about 2 feet to spare. Vernon now 0 for 4.
I think playing this game in the Rogers Center, we might have seen a few Blue Jays home runs on the night. 3 or 4.
Now batting, number 26, Adam Lind.
And that wouldn't surprise with Citizens with the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati and Yankee Stadium, and then the Rogers Center giving up the most home runs. At last count, there's Adam Lind who takes a strike.
Because the thing is, the Blue Jays pitching staff hasn't given up all that many home runs in Toronto. It's been the Blue Jays bats that have really provided a slew of them.
Well, those are total home runs.
Yes.
There's a pitch hit down the left field side by Lind. That's going to work its way foul. So with that, no balls and 2 strikes.
My point being that opposing teams haven't fully taken advantage of the friendliness of that outfield wall at the Rogers Center, but the Blue Jays bats have maybe overdone things a bit.
Adam 0 for 3 here tonight. Blue Jays finally getting a crack at a right-handed pitcher, but 0 for 2 here against Wirtz. Dallas Braden went the first 7, gave up 1 earned run, 2 total, and Craig Breslow got 2 outs before he was drilled with a line drive off the bat of Junel Escobar. Pitch misses, ball 1, 1-2. So it's Braden's game to win and Brian Tallett's to lose. Brandon Morrow just 4 innings of work. Swing and a miss on a slider down and in, strike 3, and just like that, 2 down for Aaron Hill.
Now batting, number 2, Aaron Hill.
With that Twins 7-6 win, Minnesota now with a 4-game lead on the Chicago White Sox. Minnesota's now won 5 in a row and 9 of 11. The Yankees won their game. That was at home. They beat Detroit 6-2. Pitch to Aaron, good curveball for a strike. The Rays kept pace, pounding Texas in St. Pete 10-1. Boston won a shutout over the Angels at Fenway 6-0. Aaron grounds one back to the mound, taken by Wirtz. Underhand toss to first, and the A's win it 6-2. Wirtz with his 6th save, helping Dallas Braden win his 8th. As Brandon Morrow goes 4, no decision. Brian Tallett's in with the loss. We'll be back to wrap it up on our end right after this, as the A's win it 6-2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Fan Radio Network. Tonight in Oakland, the A's win it 6-2, setting up a rubber game in the 3-game series tomorrow afternoon. The Lone Star of the game tonight brought to you by Lone Star Texas Grill. That's Lyle Overbay, who double-home Aaron Hill to tie the game at 2 in the 7th inning. Just a reminder to enter the new VTech Bullpen Hotline promotion. Every time the opposing team calls their bullpen for a pitching change, you could win a VTech Deck 6.0 2-handset cordless phone system with Bluetooth technology. That's the best sound quality, security, and range in cordless phones. So enter online now at VTechBullpenHotline.com or fan590.com, and you could be our next lucky winner. 6-2 the A's. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this as you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Fan Radio. 3:30 Eastern, the rubber game of the 3-game series. Gio Gonzalez, a lefty for the A's, 10-8. Mark Zepchinski, fresh off 7 scoreless innings and a win against the Angels down in his home there in Anaheim, will be on the mound for the Blue Jays this season. In his 3 starts, he is 1-1, his ERA 4.42. 3:35 Eastern, first pitch. We'll give you the lineups, and away we go. Tonight, the A's win it 6-2 to even up the series at a game apiece. Now, let's send it back to Toronto and Mike.